Okay, how is everyone doing? I'm just getting everything set up. As before we look at Bitcoin, we do need to look at the crypto fear and greed index. Technically, I'm live a little bit early. I'm going live today and Friday morning because I will not be live on Saturday and Monday of next week as I'll be out of town. So let me just test the sound really quickly. Sorry for the echo. I appreciate the likes and the support if we ever get them. So let's see what's going on in the crypto fear and greed index. Right now, crypto fear and greed index, I'll refresh it right now. But right now we're currently sitting at 74 in greed. Unless we're above 90, I really don't worry too much. So right now the fear greed index is in a position that I think is pretty healthy and pretty safe. So that is that 74 on the crypto fear and greed index. The next thing I want to go look at is Bookmap. That shows you where all the liquidity is at on Bitcoin, and usually the price goes to wherever the most orders are. On the right, you have the, I believe, wait, it tells you this. Let me look at something really quickly. I thought it told you. On your left is your weekly time frame. We have liquidity, which I've now just seen for the first time. We have liquidity at $125,000, and we have a little bit less liquidity at $130,000. So my guess is we come down to test maybe 112 on Bitcoin. We'll see what happens on the 1 hour time frame. I think that's the time frame we have to watch on Bitcoin tonight and into tomorrow. But right now we have liquidity for the first time. I'm seeing at 130,000, a lot at 125,000. So Bookmap suggests that in the next probably 30 days or less, we bounce off, the above 100K, and then we get a move back to 125, maybe 130K. If you look on the right, this is your daily time frame. This is a smaller time frame. We have liquidity to the downside right now at 117,500, and that's the key level I think we have to hold as support. And then to the upside, you have liquidity at 120, of course, and still some at 121. So Bookmap suggests we do come down, test 117,500. Can we hold that level? That's the big question. If we can't hold that level, that would be pretty bearish. But Bookmap does suggest we go a little bit lower than up. Let me start on the daily time frame and work our way down. So again, on the daily time frame, we broke out of this bull pennant we have on the daily. Daily stock RSI is still curving to the downside, still at 64. So to me, the daily time frame has more downside. The 12-hour time frame looks fantastic. The 12-hour time frame, you can see. Let me just make a bigger pattern here. On the 12-hour time frame, you can kind of see that we are going sideways. And I would say this. Bitcoin's only $5,000 off the high. To me, this is a bull pennant here on the 12-hour time frame with the RSI being oversold. This does suggest that we can likely continue up here and get those moves to the higher level. But you have to understand that the daily time frame is still coming down. So be cautious. The 12-hour time frame looks good for long. 8-hour time frame, this is not financial advice. 8-hour time frame doesn't look great. Right? You're staying in the pattern, that's great. You're making a higher low, that's fantastic. But the stock RSI on the 8-hour time frame is really struggling to get the bounce. The 6-hour time frame, kind of the same situation. And you look at the 4-hour time frame, that's like getting close to getting extended, getting overbought. And we didn't make a higher high. 3-hour did get overbought completely. The 2-hour did the same thing. And the 1-hour time frame probably did the same thing. Although now the 1-hour time frame is oversold. Bitcoin just lost a 200-day moving average on the half-hour time frame. Anytime that happens, then I go up to the next highest time frame. You could do the 1 hour, or you could do the 45-minute. In this case, we'll do the 45-minute. Bitcoin actually did lose a 45-minute 200-day moving average. Then the next time frame you would go to would be about 116,200. So I see Bitcoin actually tumbling down to about the 1 hour 200, which as of right now is slowly going up, but that would come in around 116,500 on the high end, depending on how long it takes. Also, I'm seeing this for the first time, because this is the first time I've really dove into the charts all day. This is a rising wedge. These break back down to the downside, and we'll see what happens. But I would just be cautious here because it looks like Bitcoin's going to take a tumble to the downside. This suggests you go back down to 112,300, where, remember, we have weekly support because that was the previous all-time high for nearly 2 months before just recently we broke out above that level. So Bitcoin right now has strong support at 112,300, but I do not see a bounce coming here for Bitcoin. I see a move lower being the most likely scenario. Bitcoin is in a rising wedge on the 1 1-hour time frame. Now, if this dumps to 112K, then yes, the 12-hour time frame would fall out of this bull pennant that I just drew on the higher time frames. I think it's most likely we do fall out of the bull pennant because the daily time frame is curving down on the stock RSI. So to me, my top-down analysis is I see it's going down at least to 116,500 minimum, but really you don't have support there. So if Bitcoin can't hold 117,500 where we do a local support, then I really do see the next stop for Bitcoin being eventually 112,300. So to me, I'm more bearish than bullish. Short term, medium, and long term, I'm extremely bullish, obviously, on where we're at. I do not believe the bull run is over, but I do believe it could be a few weeks before we get a new all-time high on Bitcoin. I don't think it's good to be overly bullish. I don't think it's good to be overly bearish. I'm just saying we've lost the 200-day moving average now on the half hour and the 15-minute. The next time frame would be the 1 hour. And you lost on the 45-minute. We just looked at that. So to me right now, I'm looking for more downside on Bitcoin, and that is kind of where I stand. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below. If you guys would like to join the trading group, link to join is in the description on YouTube and on TikTok. We have a free Telegram. You can join that through my X page. I also, on my TikTok, I did post a stock that actually looks very good to me. So go check out my TikTok page if you want a free stock. I'm going to start doing a free stock of the week for like stocks that I think look very bullish. Actually, the stock that I suggested that you look into, not financial advice, was actually a request on a live stream. So I do appreciate whoever that was. I do not remember, but I did look at that. So I appreciate the likes. If you guys do not like the live stream, just make sure you hit the like button an odd number of times. I do appreciate that. That does help support the channel. So yeah, that's kind of what I see going on. Remember, I guess I don't know what kind of turnout I should really expect because I'm not going live at the normal time or even the normal day. I'll also be back live Friday at 9 a.m. Central Time just for a market update. And that will be the last time I'll be live until probably over a week. So because again, I'll be out of town Saturday and Monday when I usually would go live this week and next week. So, yeah, that's kind of what we got going on right now. So I'll be live on Friday the 18th at 9 a.m. Central Time, and then the next time I'll be live would probably be on Saturday the 26th. So that'll be 8 days without going live. It is what it is. So that's why I'll be going live Friday at 9 a.m. Central Time. That's the next time I'll be live. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below, and we will look at them. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I guess right now Bitcoin. If you look, let me look at the 5-minute time frame for Bitcoin. I always think that's fun. I can see that the 5-minute time frame already on the stock RSI is likely to put in a lower high below the 200-day moving average on the 5-minute time frame. Also suggests that we go lower, and I can see that. You know, it just looks like we're not getting enough buying momentum to make a higher high. We'll see a 4-minute time frame, 3-minute time frame making lower highs as well. So to me, the smaller time frames do suggest you make some kind of bearish move here to the downside. Even the 2 minutes over, you know, it just looks bad to me. I would be looking for something like this, either a rising wedge on the 5-minute time frame to develop or a bear flag. And either way, your measure move to the downside, this is the next target if we dump, would be probably minimally to 117K exactly. So we'll see what happens. I'll leave this here on the 5 minutes. We'll see what goes on. But my guess is in about 20 minutes or less, 20 to 30 minutes, we could possibly get the next leg down. And again, the conservative target to the downside is just around 117K. So we'll see what happens. I see more downside for Bitcoin, and that is where I think short term we go lower. I think medium term the bull run's not over, and I think macro term, like on the yearly time frame, Bitcoin might go into a bear market at some point in the next 6 to 12 months, but not until then. So, and I also don't think Bitcoin's ever going to go below 90K. Again, I got into some hot water on TikTok saying that. I just don't see how it happens. I don't. I think if Bitcoin goes to 150K minimum this bull run, then your bear market low is going to be 90K worst case scenario. I think we might have to go test 100K. I just think we might in the bear market, but I don't really see us going much below 100K. So I think 90K would be the lowest we ever go. I don't think we go below that. So that's my bullish outlook on like the next 10 years. I just don't see it happening. And I also think in 10 years, I think at some point in the next 10 years, Bitcoin is going to hit $1 million. So we'll see what happens. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, make sure you guys hit the likes. It does help support the channel. I do appreciate it. So anyways, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Bitcoin on the 5-minute time frame. Is a bear pennant with a measure move of $117,200. We'll see what happens. I see more downside for Bitcoin, and it looks like we could take a tumble here tonight. So just use common sense, use a stop loss as always, and that is really the best thing you can do. So yeah, make sure you guys hit the like button. If you guys have requests, let me know, and I'll look at them. But I see downside for Bitcoin into tonight. One thing we can go look at is Tesla on the 4-hour time frame. I'm still long Tesla. It's kind of been a slow grind up. I'm still long on Tesla. Tesla right now could be getting rejected off the 4-hour 200-day moving average. That's not a great sign. NVIDIA did very well. NVIDIA is just continuing. NVIDIA is still probably going up to $180. I said this a few weeks ago. I said if you break 160, I didn't think it was going to happen, but if you did break 160, your next target's 179. That's a measurement of this rising wedge. If they do break up, which they don't often, but if they do, they break up parabolically, and that's exactly what we saw. So technically, NVIDIA on the 4-hour time frame has not hit the measure move yet, but it's probably going to do it pretty soon, and it could honestly do it sometime. Well, I don't think it's going to be tomorrow, but it could be. It could be tomorrow. So if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll look at them. I'm not going to do live requests right now because I don't know. This is just for crypto, but I appreciate the request. So yeah, that's kind of, I see downside for Bitcoin, and that's just what we see. But we'll see what happens here on the 5-minute time frame. It looks like we could make this rising wedge here and break further to the downside. But, I could be wrong, and we'll see. 1 minute might want to go retouch the 200, but either way, I don't like looking at the 1 minute or the 5-minute time frame. It's kind of fun in live streams, but in general, I like to look at like the 15 at the smallest, and I would be just looking for probably a continuation down sometime later tonight. So here's your bullish situation. I will humor both sides. Here's your bullish situation. Is that you are in a falling wedge, and you're going to break back up to about 119, almost 120,000. So you have a little bit of a bear flag inside this falling wedge, but the higher time frame is likely to take over. This is your bullish scenario. We'll see. This could happen that we have a falling wedge. This is the larger time frame shows the falling wedge. The 50-minute time frame is oversold. I just don't like how fast the smaller time frames are getting overbought. Like the 3 minutes overbought, and you're making a lower high. But technically, you haven't been rejected yet, so maybe we just continue to push up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. If you guys have requests for alts, let me know and I'll look at them. All I request that you guys do if you guys have requests for altcoins is that you just hit the like button because it does help support the channel. So yeah, that's all the requests that you guys do. We're live on YouTube as well if you guys want to see the entire screen. We're live on YouTube as well. This is a stock, Chris, C-R-I-S. This is definitely not a buy right now, but it's a stock I'm watching. I did make a little bit of money on it a while back, but in general, it's not good. It's a pretty shitty stock. It's a penny stock. So I'm watching. If you get back above the 4 or 200-day moving average, I would be interested in taking a long on it. So that's kind of what we got going on. That's not what I'd be touching or even looking at right now, but it's something that I do have on my watch list as far as stocks go. Bitcoin dominance just took a huge tumble. This is great for altcoins. And one more. This Ethereum is just absolutely ripping today. Luckily, I was able to enter long on Ethereum at 31.40 earlier today, and it's gone straight up ever since. Now the 4-hour time frame likely to be topping out here. The 1-hour time frame, can you make a bull flag or a falling wedge or something and continue up? That's the question. 15-minute looks kind of promising for Ethereum right now, which I don't look at very often. But Ethereum looks right now like it could continue to the upside. So we'll see what happens. I see Ethereum probably continuing up here, at least at the next resistance around 35.70. So Ethereum looks bullish to me. And the second Bitcoin dominance tumbles, you see alts, Ethereum breaking out. And usually Ethereum leads the rest of the altcoin market in breaking out. So really, if Bitcoin continues lower here, below 61.83%, I would be looking for a massive altcoin season. I know it's kind of already started, but I mean a huge one. If we go down to this below the 61.8% level, that's when I could really see fireworks happen for altcoins in general, and not just like for a few days, like for a while. As long as we stay below that level, it could happen for a while, like several weeks possibly. So we'll see what happens. But I love what I'm seeing on Ethereum. Usually, again, whenever Ethereum pumps, altcoins continue to follow that. So it's just, that's great. If you guys enjoyed the live stream, make sure you guys hit the like. I do appreciate that. It has been a struggle for that to happen recently. Not quite sure why, but that's kind of so Bitcoin dominance. That's great. If you guys hold all coins, you do want to see that continuing to the downside. One other coin I would kind of like to look at would be AMP. I do hold some AMP, and it's not been great. The other one I want to look at is Atom. So AMP right now could be breaking out. Let me look at the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, it's finally back above the 200-day moving average. That's a great sign for AMP. This is a rising wedge here, but if it breaks up, then it would be breaking up parabolically. And frankly speaking, you also have this falling wedge that has been long overdue to break out, with your measure move being 0.00556. So I could see a nice pump coming for AMP, maybe about 50%. So I do hold AMP. If I get back to break even on that, to be honest with you, I'll probably sell it for Bitcoin. So Atom coin, this is Atom, $4.70 above the 4-hour 200. I like to see that. This is one that I will start to be buying again because it's back above that key level, the 4-hour 200 moving average. And it looks like altcoins, again, with Bitcoin dominance tumbling, it looks like a lot of altcoins that seemed like they were dead could be setting up for a rally. Both Atom and AMP, to me, look like they could be setting up for a bigger rally here. Atom could be ripping up to $5.70, and you might say, well, in general, that's not fantastic based on where it was, and I would agree, but it's still, it's a start. It did get down to $3.47, so we're off the lows a little bit. Can we continue this pump to the upside? Alrighty, guys. If you guys enjoyed this, appreciate if you guys hit the likes. And I appreciate that. What is Bitcoin doing on the 5-minute time frame? It's trying to continue up. The stock RSI is struggling a little bit, so we could be going sideways here a little bit. But in general, I still see more downside for Bitcoin no matter what happens. Like if Bitcoin goes sideways or slightly down every day, that's going to also help Bitcoin dominance, which means that altcoins are going to probably likely to continue pump. As long as we don't get a massive red candle on Bitcoin, if we just go down like $1,000 a day or trade sideways, altcoins can really rally, including Ethereum. That's just kind of what I see. So yeah, that's kind of my update on the market. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know. Otherwise, that's all I got. So I will be live again Friday at 9 a.m. Central Time. Maybe if I go live during the work day, maybe it'll be better, maybe it'll be worse. I don't know. Can't be much worse than this. So we'll see what happens. I see more of a long. I see a long on Ethereum, and a lot of altcoins look bullish to me. I see a short brewing, and I don't know about short, but I just see downside or sideways consolidation on Bitcoin, but most likely we go down. We don't have to. The 200-day moving average could come into price action, but in general, I think the most likely situation on Bitcoin is I just don't see a pump coming on Bitcoin anytime soon. I think the best case scenario for bulls is we go sideways. Worst case is we dump down to $112,000, and that's the next weekly support I see. So if Bitcoin loses 117.5 here, it can be pretty bad. If we can hold 117,500, well then that'll be great. But if we hold that level, then you can know Bitcoin dominance probably will go back up, and then altcoin season can be canceled or postponed once again. So if you hold a lot of altcoins, you don't really want Bitcoin to bounce just yet. I wouldn't think that you would want it. I don't think so. So yeah. That's got my update on the entire market, from Bitcoin to altcoins to Ethereum to Bitcoin dominance to the stock market. That's my update on the market. So Appreciate the likes if I get any. I'll be live 9 a.m. Central Time on Friday, so in 2 days. And that's kind of what I see going on. I see downside for Bitcoin, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Thank you for the like on YouTube. What about Bonk? Wow, one single like. All right, that's a start. Alrighty, let's go look at Bonk. Oh my gosh, Bonk is ripping. Daily time frame on Bonk above the 200-day moving average. If we jump down to the 12-hour, you're above the 200. You're probably above it on most time frames. Are we above it on the 2-day? Yes, probably above it on the 3-day. 3-day doesn't have any data. So let's jump to the 4-hour time frame and kind of break down what's going out. So on the 4-hour time frame, I could be looking for a top here. Although, based on my support and resistance levels, I don't see any resistance now until 4-4. And your next support is 3-4. So Bonk to me is in a breakout zone, obviously. You kind of had this bullpen that was forming here on Bonk. And my guess is you've hit the measure move at this point and then some. Yeah, I would presume so. The measure move was 3-4. And now at this point, you broke out this ascending triangle. At this point, 4-hour time frame on the stock RSI, as you can see right now, is starting to curve back to the downside. If I jump down to the 3-hour, same thing. Probably 2-hour, same thing. 1 hour might be oversold. It's getting close. My guess is you can say that you wanted to see something like this, like a bull pennant. You continue up. I think the most likely situation is that this doesn't happen, but I'll give you this situation right now. Your next measure move to the upside is 5-0 or 0.0005. But I think the most likely situation is on Bonk after an extended rally is that we make some kind of rounded top. You go sideways for a little bit like this, fill out this flag, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe we continue to pump. That is possible. The trend is your friend till the end. I wouldn't short this, but a lot of times I see these after a massive rally like this. I see that they go sideways for a little bit in the flag, and then they just roll over because they need to cool off. So we'll see what happens. I would be cautiously optimistic on Bonk for a continuation, but I would say this: if Bonk cannot hold 0.000035 or even that support at 3-4, then clearly it's time to look for further downside on Bonk. So let me look at the 5-minute and kind of see if we're seeing any kind of cooling off. So the 5-minute still above the 200. 2-minute just lost a 200-day moving average, and I don't want to go too small of time frames on you. But in general, that's not good. You lost a 200-day moving average on the 2-minute time frame, which is this yellow line here. And this is now a bear flag on Bonk on the smaller time frame. So I do think Bonk's probably topped out locally. We'll see. This does have a measure move of 3-4-5. If that happens, obviously you probably want to be out of your long on this higher time frame as well. The 3-minute just lost a 200-day moving average as well. The 4-minute really is the next stop now at 368. And you can go from the 4-minute to the 5-minute to the 7-minute to the 10-minute to the 15-minute to the 33-minute. You can keep doing this. If you keep losing these key moving averages, you just go to the next highest time frame to see what the next target would be. Anyways, I wouldn't be looking for longs right now on Bonk. I think it's probably going to roll over, and I think that the rounded top situation that I just talked about is going to probably come into play. Maybe I'm wrong. I've just seen this a lot, and even in a bull market, I've seen this happen many times. So, my thought is we roll over here, we get some kind of rounded top, and that could be it. But I could be wrong. That's my update. I'm short-term bearish on Bonk. But as long as you're above the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame, that's always a good sign. So macro time frame, I don't think the top is in for this bull run on Bonk, but I do think it's probably in for the next few weeks, or at least a few days on Bonk. I don't see a bullish scenario. I see a bullish scenario. I just think it's less likely to play out. So my call is probably move back down to the support at 0.034, and then your next support below that. Well, let me go back to the daily time frame. What would the next support be? Well, you have support 12. I'm sure you have support before you go up down to 12. That'd be an 80% drop. I see more support at 2.5. That's probably your next support below 3.4. So let's see what happens. That's my update on Bonk. I would not FOMO into a long right now. Not financial advice. I just want to do it personally. Pullback on XRP soon. Thank you, 909090 for the like. Pullback on XRP soon? I don't know. Let's go look at it. Again, I'll be live on next Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. Daily time frame on XRP. XRP breaking out. Measure move of this falling wedge on the daily time frame is still all the way up at 350. We have not hit that. Daily time frame on the stock RSI is at this point coming to the downside a little bit. So this purple line is the all-time high. So I would let me look at the smaller time frames. You have some. This is a rising wedge that you have brewing here on XRP. So let me break it down. Let's see what's going on the 4-hour time frame. What do we got going on? So on the 4-hour time frame, I mean, this is quite simply a rising wedge. These break down 68% of the time, but if they do break up, they break up parabolically. So here's your scenario both ways. Let me go full screen on this. Your bullish scenario is that you break up, make a new all-time high to almost $4. Your measure move is 390 to be conservative. The bearish scenario is that you break back down, probably a bit back down to the support at $2.22. I gotta say, if I had to bet, if I had to say anything's likely, it's probably that we break out parabolically here because we're long overdue for that. The 1-hour time frame is getting oversold in this rising wedge quite nicely, if I do say so myself. And this looks like the 1-hour time frame suggests you're about to continue higher. So as far as a pullback on XRP, I don't know, man. I wouldn't short this, I'll tell you that. I just said on Bonk I wouldn't be longing. I definitely wouldn't be shorting XRP. So if you're looking for a new asset to trade besides Bonk or long, I mean, I would flip into XRP. Measure move is 330 out of this 1-hour flag. And your stop loss could quite easily be anything below 298 is a fair game for a trade. That's actually a valid trade setup. That's actually a very good trade setup, all things considered. You could enter the trade right now. This is a free trade setup I'm giving. Free trade setup. Measure move is approximately $3.27. Your stop loss would be pretty tight, but if you don't get stopped out, you can make some money. So right now, that is a 3.48 R&R. I look for trades better than 3-1. So this says you could enter this trade 3 times or more, just over 3 times. And as long as you won the trade 1 in 3 times, you'd be break even. I mean, to me, that's a decent trade. Not fantastic, but it's decent. That's an easy trade setup. Your stop loss would be 298, and your take profit would be 327. So, not financial advice, but that's a free trade setup I just gave you, and I think it's decently valid to play out here. So, yeah, that looks good. Now, say if you lose 298, it's time to get bearish, and you could be breaking lower. But if you can hold the price level on XRP of $2.98, I don't see a bigger pullback coming. The second you lose $2.98, then really you are probably looking for a pullback, probably back down to this support down here at 266. So the bottom of this entire rising wedge range. So we'll see what happens, but until you lose 298, I don't see any crazy great opportunities for anything but a long. How do I feel about Auguran? I don't believe Bonk just pumped again, but we can go back and look because people like to make crazy assumptions. Let's look at the 5-minute time frame. Well, it kind of did. I still think it could be around the top, though. That idea, this bear flag, yes, on the 5 minutes off the table, but in general, it's still around the top. That's just what I see. I'm not overly bearish. I think XRP could get a bounce here. So I wouldn't be longing Bonk after a massive pump. That's just not what I would do. So Algorand is right at resistance. 30 cents is your resistance. The next support is 25 cents to the downside. You're above the 200-day moving average on the 12-hour, on the 8-hour, on the 6-hour. The 4-hour looks like a long. So, again, XRP looks good. This looks probably just as good as XRP, just a little different pattern that looks. I mean, it's not going parabolic, so this could be better than XRP. It's probably a safer trade setup, maybe not as exciting, or maybe it is. I don't know. Measure move is 39 cents. Your stop loss could really be another trade setup right here. Stop loss below 26. Actually, your stop loss could be 26.8 depending on your exchange. If you're on the Coinbase exchange, your stop loss could be 26.8. Take profit 38, or basically I would say 39. And this is probably a safer trade setup than XRP. But let me see what the R&R is. So this is a better trade setup than XRP. Your R&R is 5.59, and it's not in a rising wedge. This is a bullish pattern that these break up 68% of the time. I would rather trade Algo right now than XRP. You have a better trade setup. So, you know, you do you. But that looks better than XRP, actually. So, guys, yes, so Bonk did get a bounce, but until you break 0.4, I should say, 4.0, this is still a lower high in the 5-minute time frame. So this doesn't look bullish to me unless you get back above 4.0. Like, this is still probably going to become around the top. And I'll come back to, I'll write this coin down, Bonk, and I'll come back down onto this Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time, and we'll see if I was right or wrong. But it still looks kind of bearish to me unless you can break 4.0. So it's just had a massive pump. We probably need to come down or go sideways on Bonk. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I can't wait to see you Friday. Thank you for the likes. I'm not perfect. I could be wrong. I'm open-minded. But, you know, if you break 4.0, then, you know, the long is back on the table. So it's just kind of choppy price action on the smaller time frame. Like, I can't draw anything here that would say this is unless you're saying this is like a falling wedge. You could say maybe this is a falling wedge that's about to break up. Let me look at the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so the more I look at this, the better it looks. Yeah, so this, if you look at the 15-minute time frame, this is a falling wedge with a measure move of 4.0. So yeah, maybe the 15-minute time frame will give you the love. We'll see. It could, yeah, it could. I could see. Now I see a situation. Now that I looked at it a little more, I do see a situation where the falling wedge could rip right back to the upside here for a higher high. Yeah. I would actually trade the 15-minute time frame over the 5-minute time frame, so I am going to switch my tune on it. I actually do see a situation where we pump here, but still, the pump would only get you back to that 4.0 level. Then you'd still have to break that. If you break 4.0, then I do see the next target being 4.4 as far as support and resistance goes. So we'll see what happens. Most likely situation, actually, the 15-minute time frame is going to take control of the 5-minute most of the time. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You have to understand that on the 4-hour time frame, you're really far away from the 200-day moving average and the 21 even. So that's why I still think we could dump. I would say it's 50-50. And if you do get the pump to 4.0, if you don't break 4.0, it doesn't really matter. So maybe on the 50-minute time frame, we get a move back to 4.0. But if we don't break 4.0, it's still bearish. So I'm still bearish on Bonk unless you can break 4.0. If you break 4.0, it's great. But I would still be thinking maybe we get a move back to 4.0, but that then get rejected, and then the rounded top idea is still on the table. So even though the 15-minute time frame looks okay, it really doesn't look great to me. To get a move above 4.0. So I'm still bearish overall on Bonk. I think we need to cool down a little bit, and I guess I'll leave it at that. With that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap up the live stream. We'll be back 9 a.m. Central Time on Friday. Until then, trade safe. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night. It is Wednesday. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. And trend is your friend until the end. The trend is your friend until the end. The trend on the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin right now is to the upside. But I did say I see downside coming on the 1-hour time frame. So we'll see what happens. Oh, I'm sorry, not on the 1-hour time frame. What time frame is it? Well, Bitcoin is starting to look bullish to me now. The 15-minute time frame is breaking out right now of this falling wedge I just gave you. The 1-hour time frame looks like it could rip here. So And the 4-hour time frame, as bad as the stock RSI looks, could get some love. So honestly, we'll see what happens. Let me just let me clear the chart completely. Here's what I don't want to see happen. Have this be a left shoulder, have this be a head, and then have this be a right shoulder. That could be a head and shoulders pattern on Bitcoin, so I don't want to see that happen. Let me delete some of my old drawings here. So I would be cautious here on Bitcoin. I see a bounce coming for Bitcoin. If that happens, alts could follow to some extent. But I think that Bitcoin right now could be getting a reversal. So even as bad as the stock RSI looks on the 8-hour, that could be a nice long. Thursdays are a great day to long. I will say that on Bitcoin. So I will say I think we're higher Friday than anything, and I see a pump coming for Bitcoin into tonight. So I will leave it at that. And if Bitcoin pumps, then Bonk could follow as well. We will see. But I definitely see a long. I think Bitcoin long looks pretty likely at this point. So that's where I leave us off at. And maybe we don't touch the 1 hour, 200-day moving average. Maybe we just keep going up. We'll see. I gave you the bearish, and now I'm giving you the bullish idea on Bitcoin. You have to choose which one you like better. I think though short term, I'm more bullish now than a bearish than like I was at the beginning of the stream. So I am switching up the tune. I see a long coming for Bitcoin, and I think we are going to continue higher here actually. And probably sometime tomorrow we're around 120,000 again, like we were earlier today. So I see not a big bounce in general. $1,500 isn't much anymore, but I see a move coming back to the upside for Bitcoin. That's all I got. Have a great night, guys, everyone. And I'll see you guys on Friday at 9 a.m. Central Time for the next live stream. Cheers and adios. You have a good one as well.